Hello everyone, welcome back to this Siemens SINAMICS S210 Servo drive system and motion control series video. And in this video, I will show how can we use the Startdrive software to configure the SINAMICS S210. This is servo drive controller and this is servo system. The mainstream servo drive system from Siemens, that is the SINAMICS S210, S210, and S120, the servo drive. And all those servo drive systems can be configured via the SINAMICS Startdrive software. And with this Startdrive system uploaded from the servo drive and configured, so it can seamlessly integrate it into the TIA portal. So from the controller side, from the PLC side, this is very easy to set up the communication, set up the configuration. Okay, let's go to the TIA portal and let's use the Startdrive to configure this SINAMICS S210. Alright, in this video, when we configure this SINAMICS S210 via the Startdrive software, so all the communication will through this PerfectNet port. In the real hardware, my laptop will connect it to this controller, and this controller has a switch function, and then all those devices via this PerfectNet port, I can communicate with them. Like showing in this picture, so this commission port via this IP address, I will disconnect the cable from here. I will connect to the controller now. Before we use the Startdrive, I would highly recommend you browse this web page and use SINAMICS and have a quick look to see what the current hardware you are using, especially the firmware. Now let's shift to the TI portal and let's use the Startdrive to configure this server drive. Alright, in this video I'm using TI portal version 17, and in my software I installed the Startdrive Advanced, or you can install the Startdrive basic software version 17. Okay, and then let's add a new device, and then let's select SINAMICS S210. Let's pick the hardware, and in my demo I'm using this small one, and this is a 6SL3210 5HB10. Alright, and from this job list I will pick the 5.2. So this is based on the main page, the firmware in this server drive. Okay, that's 5.2. Okay, let's click OK. Alright, we set up this drive station here, and we can double click and we can raise up this area to look at the properties. And firstly, let's configure the IP address. Okay, we will download this entire hardware station to the server drive, so we can define the IP address. So default, this IP address is 0.1. For the testing purpose, I can set this drive to 0.10. But notice here, this is all the offline. When we download this hardware, this configuration 0.10 will be downloaded into the server drive. Okay, 0.10. And here, this is the PerfectNet name. PerfectNet name, so this is system automatically assigned here. Where this name come from? This name actually come from this station name. So I can rename this station name at first. So they named drive. I can call that red. Drive right at the left side. Then we will see when I scroll down here, this name will be automatically updated. Okay. It changed to a small case, doesn't matter. Okay. PerfectNet usually like the small case here. This name associated with this, drive right. This is a very important Telegram configuration. This is the key telegram or the handshake between the PLC and the server drive. And from the SINAMICS S210, for the regular server control, especially if we need to involve the DIC function, dynamic servo control. So the common telegram we will use 105. The DIC, the dynamic servo control system, that means the closed loop controller, that control loop will be deployed into this server drive. So definitely if the server drive run as the closed loop, that can run much faster than the motion controller. Motion controller here, this is our PLC. Deploying the DIC function into the server drive, that can increase the closed loop positioning performance. So usually in the Siemens drive and the Siemens controller, for example, 15 standard PLC or 15 technology T CPU, then I highly recommend you use the Telegram 105 and use the DIC function. So when we'll pick the 105. Okay, we config the IP address here. So temporarily, we do not need to active this network because once we set up the controller, all those drives can connect to the controller logic network. So we can temporarily leave this off. Okay, again, perfect net name and IP address, and this telegram here. Then the next important thing is we will tell this server drive controller the motor and the encoder. Okay, so when we click here, this shows gray, right? And from here, we can pick the servo motor, and also servo motor come with the encoder. However, if you recall from the main web page, the servo motor, the article number, it is not showing here. So that's because default here, it active the filter. So we can check off this filter, click. Then it can show all the motors, this SINAMICS S210 that support. So actually the servo motor we are using is this line. Okay, here that's the one S800, okay, 3000 RPM, and a single term absolute encoder, okay, without holding brake. So we can enable, pick this servo motor. So after we pick this motor, we will see it's showing this rate motor voltage and speed. Okay, we can have a glance, and the kilowatts and the torque. In the meantime, we will see this one option is added behind this servo motor because this is the encoder, and we can pick the encoder. So we can see this is a drive click encoder. The drive click encoder, that means all those encoder will be communicate with the server drive. Okay, and we can double check this article number, and to double click this encoder is correct or not. Okay, this is the single term absolute encoder. Okay, no problem, everything selected. And now we can download this offline hardware configuration to the online hardware configuration. So now we can click this download. We can save the project and download. So what does mean of this CUX150 and the CUX127? So if you record the hardware installation quick start, and from this quick installation guide, so if we scroll down, we will see, okay, the perfect net port is named X150. The perfect net port has two here, so one connect to the controller or daisy chain connect with the controller eventually. And this port can connect to the next station. And where is the X127? And the X127, that's the web page. The default IP address is this, 169.254. And now I'm connecting with the PerfectNet port because now the rest of things we all based on the PerfectNet configuration and download. So I'm going to connect this X150. Okay, so now I will pick this X150, and now let's start search. So this can search all the IP devices in this network. Okay, as we can see here, after this search, it detects two server drives. One is named drive red and one is named drive blue. Okay, and because I configured this drive before and this IP address wasn't lost, maybe early beginning this IP address was 0.1 because this is the default come from the factory setting or set by somebody else. So it doesn't matter. We will download our offline configuration to this server drive. Okay, so as long as you detect this name that match your target, then you can download. Now I'm configuring this drive red. So now I will download this drive red. Okay, let's click this load. So I will load the configuration. In the meantime, let's enable this. That means the copy RAM to ROM. So all the configuration will be archived into the ROM. So after we cycle power of the server drive, all those configuration will not be lost. Okay, so let's click the load. All right, now we download the right drive configuration, and we will do the same thing for the right side, the blue drive. So now I will click the new drive, operate again, and I will quickly pick select the 5.2. The right drive is the same as the left side. And I will name this drive as blue. Hardware configuration, select this drive. And I will configure the IP address 0.11. And we will also see the right side is blue. So this name automatically updated here. So PerfectNet, this blue. And the telegram is select 105. Okay, and the motor. And then the motor, we will do the same thing. Select the motor, go to the motor selection, deactivate this filter. Okay, we will pick this motor. Okay, that match our real motor hardware. Okay, then let's go to the encoder. Let's double check the encoder. Okay, encoder. So drive click encoder, resolution 2000 encoder. And if you scroll down, this is the drive click encoder. Okay, and this is the article number that matches with the real hardware. Okay, drive click encoder. Alright, so we configure this blue drive, and also let's download. Okay, same thing. So double check this offline 0.11. And we will use the PerfectNet port. Let's click the search. Okay, so the right one we just download. Then this time we will download this blue drive. Okay, and let's click this download. And same thing, save parameters. Okay, copy RAM to ROM, load. There's another important setting, that's the web server. So by default, when we create starting from the scratch, so the default web server that disabled the administrator. So if you recall, we definitely used the administrator logging into the system. But if we leave this default configured and download this hardware configuration, then it will wipe out the administrator, this ability. So you need to make sure you enable this SINAMICS, this by default. Also, we need to specify a password. For example, the new password, we usually set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and enable this administrator user. And also keep in mind, this is the same thing. Enable the access via the PerfectNet. So once we enable this and download this hardware configuration, then we can use the PerfectNet port to log in into the web page. Okay? And same thing for the blue. Let's go there, blue drive, and double click, go to the web page, and then enable this password. Okay, 128. Okay, and enable. All right, we can download this configuration. Okay, we can download. So I will download blue, and download the drive right. Okay, so we download everything. Now let's click this go online. Now if we go to the commissioning, we should able to activate this drive and spin the motor. But before that, so let's right click and click this upload from device. So this makes sure if any parameters we set from the web page. So the Startdrive software, we can upload all the existing parameter from the drive system. So let's click this upload from device software. Software means we will upload all the parameters. So same thing for the blue. So we can firstly go offline and right click this upload from device software. Alright, we finish the upload parameter. And now if I'm going to try a quick active, so I can click this online and go to the commissioning. Now I'm online this drive read and go to the commissioning. And now if I active this drive, okay, check out this message because now we are going to spin this motor. Okay, make sure your outside is totally safe. And once I set, that means we will power on the drive. Okay, now without any controller yet, so we directly communicate with the drive read, this motion drive. Now, this is server drive, and now ready signal on, and without any significant message, wrong message here, we can set speed, for example, 60 RPM, and we can click this drop forward. And now we will see we can drop move this right motor backward. And if we click this button, so this is not jog, so the motor can keep spinning. If we click off, it stops. Click this backward, it keeps spinning. Off or stop. If you have any fault, you can click this reset to reset the fault. And then you can enable the power for this drive again. And in the meantime, you can watch the hardware, those voltage and torque and the speed. Okay, again. Okay, we can see the torque and the current. So now if I apply the load for this drive, we will see the torque will be increased. Okay, so now I can stop it. Okay, same thing, I will do the blue drive. So I can deactivate this red motor. And then let's go to the blue. And click this online. And then let's go to the commissioning. Active this drive. And click this reset. Power on the drive. And we can also set, so we can set speed 60 the same. So now I can click this jog forward. So we can see the blue motor is moving forward, backward. Okay, forward. So this is a click. This command basically that means move velocity. Okay, off. Move backward. And same thing, let's watch this torque value and the current. So now I can stop this motor. Okay, so this is using the commissioning and using the start drive, we can quickly control this server drive motor, and we can spin forward and spin backward. Okay, after this online commissioning, then we can also online check the parameters. So we can double click while we are online. And this is the basic parameterization. So we can see this is all the live value, 40 degree, voltage, and all those torque value, current, all those value. Okay, and we can click the online monitoring. Okay. And for the safety, this is the same idea from the web page. So we can configure and select the safety while we are at offline. Okay, in the meantime, for the digital input, we can monitor the digital input signal. Okay, most importantly, some parameters, while this Startdrive software, we can configure the parameters at here. So basically, this wheel is exactly the same as the web page, the setting we introduced before. And to verify if the parameters they are the same with Webpage. We can log in the Webpage again. And I can go to the advanced view. So we can change one parameter. Okay, we can use this maximum speed as an example. So default, that's the 8000. We can change to 2500 maximum RPM. And this is the minus 2500. Okay, we change those parameters and we can click this save changes. Save changes. Alright, so we save change those parameters. So P1082. Okay, then let's go back to the TI portal. Okay, we shift back to the TI portal, drive right, and go to the parameters. And go to this parameter view. And find out that P1082. Okay, here. So firstly, we can see all those parameter is a live viewing. So the 2500 we can see in this value. Okay, but if we go offline, the offline value is still showing the 8000. Currently, the offline parameter is still the old value. So to update from the drive to this offline configuration, so we can firstly go offline. Okay, make sure go offline. Then we can right click this station, click this upload from the device. Okay, so we will see after we upload parameter, so this area automatically updated. So we can see 2500, it is showing here. And if everything we change the parameter here while we are at offline, then we can click this station and click the download. So we can download the parameter. Another way, if we go online monitor those values. Okay, for example, now the speed is setting as 2500. If I change to 3000, so after I change this 3000 here, that's actually working directly. So now if I shift back to the web page, we will see all those values changed into the drive already. Okay, if I shift to the web page here, we will see these three parameters. We will see 3000 setting here. So all the changes online here that immediately go to the drive. However, keep in mind one thing. Every time we change the parameter while we are online with this Startdrive software, the parameter just stored into the RAM of the server controller. To save the parameter after the cycle power, keep in mind we need to click this button. So this is a retentive save the data. Okay, or if we shift to the function wheel, if we click this button, so every time we change some parameters here, that online directly set something into the drive. However, all those configurations just stored into the RAM. If we cycle power or immediately if you lose the power on the drive side, then all the parameters will be lost. So every time we online change or tune the parameter at here, keep in mind click this button. Okay, this is the copy RAM to ROM. Let's click. Save RAM data, retentively. Save RAM data to ROM. Okay, this allows you to save all the value into the ROM. So if we cycle power the drive, all the parameters, all the settings will not lost. Okay, so if now I cycle power, all the parameters will not lost. Okay, so now I can cycle power. Okay, now I'm cycling power now. Okay, once we go online, we will see the 3000 we set just before we copy RAM to ROM, so that's stored into the system. So every time after you're online testing the parameters, if you feel happy, and don't forget click this button, copy RAM to ROM. And meantime, you better go offline again and click the right side button and click this upload from the device. So all your offline parameter will be updated from the online drive. So let me upload again. After the upload, we will see these three parameters will be changed to 3000. Okay, now it changed to 3000. Okay, this is the parameter list. Okay, the last things I like to show that is while we are at online, how can we do the one button tuning? As I showed in the previous video, we use the web page to do the online tuning. Using the web page is very helpful and easy. So the Startdrive software, this is a very professional software that also allows you to do the one-button tuning. If we go to the commissioning, let's click online. We introduced how can we use the control panel to jog move the drive, right? And once you jog move the workball, that means all your power and all the mechanical things can move freely, can move without issue. Then you can load the mechanical or load your regular load to your drive. Then you can do the one-button tuning. So again, the same thing. So easy way, conservative mode, standard mode, and the dynamic. This is much clearer than the Webpage. After all, this is a professional tool. So it's showing all those parameters now, the previous and the current. So this is the current value. If we can do the conservative mode, so let's set a certain length. So for this conservative, for example, I can spin 3 revolutions, 1080. Okay, and I can active. Read this notice. Okay, let's look at this. Go online. We can click this active alarm, confirm. We can confirm this alarm. Then we can go back to this one-button tuning, active again. Okay, 1080. Okay, and then let's start. Okay, it finished. So this time we can watch this previous value and the current value. We can compare to see what's going on and what it modified. Okay, so the online value, that means now this value has been deployed into this system. So if we go to the drive web page and we can monitor this P1460. Okay, if we log in via this SINAMICS, just monitoring. Okay, we can see this P1460, this P gain is showing here. This is the live value. That means after we finish the one-button tuning, this parameter is working into this system already. Okay, 4 milliseconds and 0.02. Okay, then if we go back to the TI portal, we will see those are the online value. And if you feel happy for those online value, then don't forget, click this copy RAM to ROM. Otherwise, once you cycle power the drive, all those tuned parameter will be lost. Okay, so copy RAM to ROM. Don't forget this. And also, after you click the copy RAM to ROM, then go to offline and upload the parameter again. Because currently all those tuned parameter just stored into the online controller, hardware controller. This offline project haven't got the fresh data yet, fresh parameter yet. So we can right click and upload. So this is the entire sequence. Okay. Okay, don't forget, press this button, copy RAM to ROM, and then go offline here and click this upload from the device. All right, this is a typical procedure and operation using this Startdrive to download hardware configuration and or upload the parameters from the drive. Also, the common function we will use, this is a one-button tuning here, and check all the online parameters. All right, this is the Startdrive and SINAMICS S210 Servo drive. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you like to watch more videos in my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching.